day, and we passed by an insurance agency, and they had a sign that said, "We insure she sheds."
Everybody insures she sheds because that falls under the other building coverage. So they're not special, Marvella.
I know, but I just thought that was cute, and
That's
I
cute.
immediately thought of you.
That's great.
Oh, that's a good little kick there for the advertising.
Yep. So if something happened, she could get a what is it? A she shed? She shed?
That's funny. Julie's in the house. Howdy, howdy. Welcome.
Yeah, I just finished my class, and I had help with the kids for all the other classes, but everybody had dentist appointments today, and it was such a shit show. I thought, well, why not just continue the fun, you know?
Keep it alive. Keep it alive. That's
yeah,
right.
That's right.
So,
It's been real.
very cool. Glad you're here. Oh. I wonder if, oh, you said Brian's got a closing at 12 o'clock, right? So he's going to be a little bit delayed. And I don't know about John. I haven't heard from him this week.
Did Debbie just log in?
Maybe.
Because you were talking, it had that echo again.
Oh, no, she's not here.
I think that was Kelly. She did it when she logged in, that second screen that popped up.
Okay.
Yeah, my computer doesn't have anything on it, so I have to log into my cell phone if I want to talk to anybody.
Oh, okay.
But I like to see my screen because it's big on my computer. That old age thing going on.
You said it.
I get it. Totally get it. So, Josh is here. Mom's here. Scott's here. Adrian's here. Dudley. What's up? What's up? All right. Well, let's go ahead and kick things off. It is 12:02. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. It is the first Wednesday of July, July 1st, ironically. So we'll do this again in 2 weeks. But in the meantime, we are crazy busy right now. And so kudos to you guys. Stacia is literally drowning in paperwork. So thanks to all of you. So she's got more listings and case sheets than she knows what to do with. And on top of that, all of the new rain forms are effective today. And so she's been literally trying to update all of those templates in rain that we rely on. So we should all say thank you to Stacia for giving up her nights and weekends to make our lives easier.
The sales contracts have been updated, so those you are good to go with. I am still working on the listings, so there are plenty more options. So I will get those done, as we are working on this wonderful meeting.
Yeah, thank you, Stacia, and thank you so much for the call. You were so on point, and your timing couldn't have been better the other day.
No problem.
Yeah, thanks, girl.
On point. Sweet. So I had a couple of things I wanted to share with you guys, keeping in line with spring, summer, open houses, new clients, unknown buyers. I kind of wanted to share some more information with you about Realtor Safety. I know we touched on it a little bit last week, and I put together this PowerPoint yesterday, and I put some tips in there, some things that I thought were really probably good practices, best practices. And I really like the idea of the buddy system. When possible, why not pair up with somebody? Why not take your husband or your wife or your friend or your coworker to meet a new client for the first time? I think that's smart, and certainly during an open house. If you can help it, don't go to an open house and do it by yourself. You know, take somebody with you. Take a lender, take a title person, take anybody, because there is, in fact, safety in numbers. And so I think that's a really good best practice for us to keep in mind. You know, you should always walk behind the client, especially if this is somebody new, right? This is somebody you don't know, and you're going to show them this property. Let them go in first. Don't put them between you and the exit. So make sure that you're always closer to the exit than they are. I think that's a good thing to keep in mind, especially until you get to know somebody. And we'll send this out to you guys, but there's a couple of things in here that I think are just, it's common sense, but if we don't talk about it, then you might not think about it. And so it's just a good idea to protect ourselves, given recent stories in the news that we see from time to time about, you know, agents being hurt, robbed, abused, killed even. Because there's a lot of crazy people in the world. And so, yeah, you want to be careful. Always, always, always. The deal is not worth your life or safety. So, yeah, leave your purse in the trunk. Leave your laptop in the trunk, you know, because you don't know. I thought one of the points that was made was, you know, a lot of us, when we're going to go show a house, we just pull right up to the house and jump out of the car and go to the front door. It might be a better idea to slow down just a little bit. And before we immediately jump out of the car, take a look around. You know, is there anybody, you know, parked over here or parked over there that you might need to be aware of? Does it look like somebody might be stalking you or the place at the property, and they're going to follow you into the property? So I would just encourage you to be a little more observant. Always, always, always be on your guard, especially around new people, new buyers. And whenever possible, meet them at the office. I think it improves our image, our professionalism. You know, it gives us a more professional appearance, I think, in the mind of the buyer or seller, if we can meet them at the office first and then go out and take a look at the house, at least for the first time. You know, until you feel like you have a little more confidence in who they are and what their intentions might be. Next slide. So plan your exit. So always know, you know, if you go into a house to open it up, make sure you open the back door so that you don't get stuck behind a closed or locked deadbolt. Should your customer or client have a not so good intention, you know, make sure the doors are unlocked and make sure you know how you can get out of that house. Maybe the garage door or the back patio door. If you can't get to the front door, make sure you can reach one of the other doors. And then I don't know about you guys, but I have gone into houses and there have been there was a what do you call those people that just, it was a homeless person living in the back bedroom of this house. And,
Water.
yeah, we scared the hell out of each other. I mean, I was terrified. He was terrified. He ran right past me and out the front door. So probably, you know, it's not a bad idea to knock on the door, you know, ring the doorbell. Even if you presume that the house is going to be empty, you know, make yourself known. As you're walking into the house, you know, announce that you're there. I think that's probably a good idea. And then, of course, we've all got, you know, different options when it comes to self-protection devices, be it mace or a stun gun or a shotgun or, you know, machine gun, that sort of thing. But it's also a good idea to keep 911 on your phone, and just, you know, you can have it saved on your phone so that all you have to do is hit send. And they can immediately begin to hopefully start recording that call. I thought that was a pretty cool idea. And then on one of these next slides, there's a neat little device that I found through the National Association of Realtors website that I'll show you. But if you don't know, HomeSnap is my most favoritist ever real estate showing houses app. So there's a ton of them out there, as we know. Real Scout is great, but HomeSnap is my favorite. It's simple, it's easy to use. and they have this automatic safety timer. So you can set your timer for 15 minutes, and if you don't stop the timer, it will automatically call your emergency contact person, whoever you program into it. And so I thought that was kind of cool. And anytime, if you go to your HomeSnap app right now on your phone, you won't see the safety timer. But when you actually get to a property and pull that property address up in HomeSnap, then you'll see the option to have that safety timer for your showing. And so you can set a 20-minute showing time. And if you don't stop that timer, it's going to automatically place that that call for help. So definitely, if you didn't know about that, it's kind of cool. It's absolutely free, and it's just probably a good practice. The next thing was this little gizmo gadget. This thing is called Wear Safe. It's $150, but there's no subscription fees or anything like that. And so the idea behind this is, you know, if you were to encounter someone with poor intentions, they may go for your phone, right, to prevent you from calling 911 or to prevent you from calling for help. This is a little gadget that you can keep in your pocket. And as soon as you push the button, it reaches out to 911 and it begins recording the conversation around you. So it's hearing all that's going on, and it's sending your GPS coordinates, and it's calling 911 for you. So for $150, I thought, man, that's pretty smooth, because this little gizmo is going to be in your pocket. So a person with bad intentions isn't going to have any idea what it is in the first place. They're only going to think to try to take you away from your phone. But this thing, they wouldn't have a clue. So, and it is one of the items recommended by the National Association of Realtors. Just where I found this information yesterday, it was on their website. So something to consider when it comes to your safety. I don't think that that we can be too careful initially when we meet new people. So cool. All right. I think that was it for that. That little bit of the new Dpor is out and effective today. So if and they only changed the wording on this slightly. So if you guys have listings that are not currently under contract, according to the law, you need to get your seller to sign this new document that just came out today. And the new document tells them that there are these 4 pages of additional information behind this URL. So this is the 4 pages. We're not required to get these 4 pages signed, but we are obviously required to get this document signed, and it's brand new as of today. It goes into effect. And so if there are, this obviously Stacia's putting this into our template packages in Rain and Instanet.
No, I'm not.
If you have a listing that's not currently pending, we should go ahead and get this updated by our sellers.
So Rain has not put the new form in
Okay.
their list of forms. So right now you guys will have to print this form when I send it out with the video, because it's not in there yet.
Okay.
So as soon as it gets uploaded and updated, it will be there. But as of right now, it's not in their system yet. So
Okay.
the one form I can't update.
I'm sure they're working on it. So hopefully in the next day or so, your templates will automatically be updated, and you won't have to mess with printing that out. So that's cool. So let's turn over to Core. Do we have Dawn? How's the insurance business right now? You guys are probably crazy as well.
We are, and that's thanks to you wonderful agents doing what you do. It has been super busy, but I just wanted to, because we have a few new faces, remind you that not only can I help your clients and you with homeowners and renters insurance, or I'm sorry, auto insurance, but we also can help if you're working with someone who's buying a property to be a landlord. I can write landlord insurance. If you're working with renters, I can write their renters insurance. If you have someone who is working on a house to flip, we have builder's risk insurance that we can insure the property while it's being worked on. And we can also do vacant property if you have a listing that's going to be on the market when no one's going to be living in it. Long and Foster has a special product just for that. So it's not just homeowners and warranties. We can pretty much do any kind of insurance you're looking for. So just give me a call. And of course, if you need flood zone determinations or flood insurance, I can help with that too.
So cool. It's a good reminder, because I think sometimes we just think of homeowners insurance. It's like the default position for us. And so, yeah, I mean, you're a legit insurance agent, and you can
That's
do
right.
anything. So.
We also, I'm not licensed commercially, but we also have a commercial insurance department up in Chantilly if you have a need for that too. So I can put you in contact with someone for that if you need them.
That's
But
where
yes,
I got my commercial insurance was through Long and Foster Commercial.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So yes, I am legit when it comes to helping with your insurance and home warranty. So just give me a holler, phone call or an email away.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you very much. Have they said anything to you about coming back into the offices?
They did. They sent an email out and they're asking core services to stay out until after Labor Day. So that's kind of interesting, but I'm willing to pop back in. Jason, you and I chatted a little bit about maybe me sharing offices with John when he's not in there, because that's the thing. They're concerned that because we're in all the offices, they don't want us cross-contaminating, so to speak. So if I do come in, I need some place where I can go in and shut the door just like everybody does. So I'm still kind of figuring out what we're going to do there.
That's right. We don't want you bringing those Virginia Beach cooties over here.
Or the Chesapeake cooties. Or
the Chesapeake. Yeah, exactly.
And trust me, I don't want to take Suffolk cooties and bring them home either. So
we don't have no cooties.
Well, I don't either, and I want to keep it that way. But yeah, I'll over the next couple of weeks, we'll see what's going on and figure out what we're going to do. And hopefully I can pop in and see you guys, a few hours a day or once a week or something.
Awesome. Awesome. Very cool. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Mr. Brian, are you on the call?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's been really busy out there. I can see myself. That's terrible. So great month, a record-setting month. So thank you so much out there. Oh my goodness, I've got so many people to thank. I don't know who's all on the call or not, because I just came in from a closing. Adrian, are you on the call?
Yeah, I see her. I see her picture. Yeah.
Adrian, it looks like you used us 3 times. Is that correct?
That's correct. How you
Well,
doing?
thank you. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Tina, are you out there?
Yep, Sheena's on too.
Tina, thank you for using us. Victor Outland, are you on there? We did a closing out in the storm the other day.
No, he's not on the call, but yeah, that's amazing. That's a lot going on for you. So
That was amazing. Kelly, I know we just finished up one with you, right, Kelly? Or was it 2?
You actually have 3 for me.
3 for you. Did they all close and fund?
One of them, the third one's getting ready to. We had a little issue with it.
Okay. Well, I'm just getting these are raw figures right here, so I apologize. Soren, I've got you down for 1. Is that correct?
he's not on today.
Okay, Soren. Betsy Leahy, I've got her down for 1. Is she on the call?
Nope.
Nope. Vicky Marsh, all the way from Florida, I have you down for a seller side.
Isn't that cool? Yeah, that's so
pretty
cool.
right?
He's
Jason,
working anywhere.
how many did you have, Jason?
Oh, just 1.
Just 1. And Sharon, how many did you have? I've got your name down here a couple times, maybe 3.
She disappeared.
I'm getting the raw numbers because it's just the first. I'll have better numbers the 7th. We're also having some conference calls tomorrow, so I'll know more what I can and can't do. But I think we're going to get them done one way or another. I did get to go out to. I came out to your guys' office with Victor the other day, in the storm, and we did it outside, and that was some storm. The cars were shaking, the papers were flowing, but that was good. And yesterday I got to go down to the ocean front and close one out in the parking lot. But I'm hopeful that we can start doing them back in the rooms with, you know, gloves or a mask and maybe a bubble. I don't know. But I'm hopeful that we'll be able to be a little more flexible. Now, we do have another notary that was vetted by Long and Foster. It's a company that will come to the homes or businesses. So we do have that in place. And it's just been busy, crazy. So I apologize if everybody, if it's been hectic if you've noticed that from us. But now that it's July 1st, it seems like it'll calm down for a little bit. But I'm sure this month is going to be, you know, heavy again. So we appreciate it. We thrive in it. The days go so fast when you're busy, you know, so it's a blessing. So I appreciate everybody out there. Jason, your motivation every Friday is it's just amazing. You guys are so lucky to have that, because I'm not seeing that anywhere at any other office. Just saying. So.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it, man. So
I think we're 96% for the year, which the goal was 50, so 96 is like twice that. So thank you.
It's amazing.
Okay. Yeah. So I wanted to mention to you guys too that I shared something on Facebook the other day, and it was with respect to the source of funds discussion that we had last week. And when we were talking about the law changes which go into effect today, and one of the new protected classes under the Fair Housing Act is source of funds. We cannot discriminate based on source of funds. And if you didn't see the video, it was a RE/MAX broker from Yorktown office, RE/MAX Capital. And so he had some questions about this new source of funds and what that meant. So he reached out to the Virginia Realtor Association and talked to the legal hotline people, who called him back to answer his question. And they said, according to his video, that source of funds could include telling your seller, so you're the listing agent hypothetically, and your clients have maybe a couple of different offers. So the source of funds could include telling the pros and cons based on your offers coming in. So telling your client that a VA loan is a little more challenging than a conventional loan, or that a conventional loan is a little easier to close sometimes than an FHA loan. Or that cash is generally best because there's no loan company involved. All of those scenarios include source of funds. And so what his determination is that, you know, that's standard practice for us as listing agents, to advise our clients on the strength of a buyer's offer, given and including the loan type. You know, we've always done that. You know, I always tell people that VA is a little more particular when it comes to a property's condition. And according to the information that he learned, we should no longer continue to do that, because that is a type of discrimination based on the source of funds. And so I think that's a really, really interesting scenario. And I'm hoping, I had reached out to Thomas Gladden at Shaheen Law to invite him to come on one of these calls and talk to us specifically about that and how a court might interpret that language. And ironically, he is doing a Zoom meeting this afternoon at 3 o'clock, which I hope they intend to record for all of us. And it's not just about the source of funds discussion, it's about all of the RAIN form changes and updates. So I intend to be on that Zoom. And so if you can't make it, I will certainly relay to you any information that I find or pull out of that. But it is, I think, worth continuing to investigate. Can I tell my seller that I would rather them take this conventional offer instead of this FHA offer? Or, can I do that? Can I continue to do that? What I've always done in the past. So when we talked about it last week, we talked about it under the pretense that it had more to do with Section 8. And a landlord could not discriminate against someone who received money from the Section 8 in order to pay the rent. And so that was the only context in which we had spoken about source of funds until I saw this video the other day, and I thought, well, crap, that could be something that we need to pay a little more attention to. So,
and if they ask us about it, I mean, my clients will ask me, like, doesn't that fall under our buyer broker agreement?
Well, well, exactly. And, I mean, we do have clients too. They ask us, well, how are the schools in this area? How's the crime in this area? And we always have to defer. We have to be the source of the source, right? Always, never be the source, but always be the source of the source. So we refer them to websites or information sources or Chamber of Commerce, that sort of thing. And this would be another scenario where we would have to figure out when and where and how we wanted to defer them to someone else to get that information so that we couldn't be held liable. Maybe that turns out to be, maybe the mortgage companies put together a document or something explaining the differences between each of the mortgages. That would be totally acceptable. We just can't input or inject our opinion into the process and helping them determine which offer they should accept based on the source of funds. There's always going to be additional pros and cons, right? I mean, maybe this one has a 7-day home inspection and this one has a 14-day home inspection, and maybe that's something that's important. Maybe this one has a $200 earnest money deposit and this one has a $2,000 earnest money deposit. So there's lots of things that we can advise them on, but source of funds is something that we need to pay more attention to, I think, going forward. And I hope to get more information about that this afternoon.
What if, how in the MLS there, I don't even know if there is now, but there was at least a spot where you could say like FHA, VA on your listing. I mean, what if you have a stinker of a listing?
Yeah.
That a VA is going to be a problem, that the deal is going to fall apart. I mean, you're going to let your seller
Right.
walk into
That is an
buyer.
option.
Or could we maybe educate them up front, like talk about it up front at your like consultation with the seller, your listing presentation? Could we like talk a little bit, at least at some point in time, about different types of loans and maybe things that we'll see with those loans?
That's a great point. Yeah, you don't have to talk about it specific to any particular offer. You could have that conversation earlier in the process prior to those offers coming in and say, this is something that we're going to want to take a look at and consider as the offers come in, be it VA, FHA, conventional, cash, whatever it happens to be. And yeah, so when listing a property and you go into that data input sheet and, you're supposed to be able to, you check those boxes, which lending type does this property qualify for? And I think a lot of times the default position is all, right? Unless that it doesn't qualify for VA financing, or that maybe it's in a community that's not FHA approved. Right? There are some communities.
That option that you're talking about, Jason, is actually for our attached properties only. It's not required for a single family home. So if you don't put something in that spot, I do choose all or none, or other, whatever the case is. I'm not sure what the option, it's either none or other. So that it does get answered. But if it's a condo, I will not put all, because most condos don't accept everything.
Yeah. Cool. Good question. Anybody else have anything they'd like to share?
I just have one thing. Everybody who's turned in a sales contract, thank you. If you have turned in a sales contract, can you please do a case sheet in the system? If you need help, Jason has a great video. It's a step-by-step video of how to put in a case sheet. I usually try and send you the link. It gets you basically to it, but that's as far as my email goes. I have not gotten to put the video up on YouTube yet, but Jason does have it. He did send it out to us some time ago. So if you guys do have that, that's great. But I do know we had two or three more contracts that have come in last night and the night before that I haven't quite gotten to yet. I know they're in the system. Closings have been coming in. You guys are doing great. Keep up the good work.
For real, for real. Hey, if you guys have, if there's any topics, anything you want to hear me talk about or teach about, don't hesitate to send me over suggestions. I did that screen record video for the case sheet, which some people have really appreciated. And then I also did that screen record video with Cecil, and we went through the entire writing an offer process up to and including electronic signatures. And that was a pretty good video too. I think really useful. So if there's anything like that that you guys would appreciate, don't hesitate to let me know. I'm happy to do it. So.
Hey, speaking of Cecil, he came by the office yesterday. We just had our closing, or it was the day before. My days are running together, but congratulations, Cecil.
Oh, that's
First
awesome.
closing.
That is so cool. Yes. So I love it's really exciting. I mean, obviously every deal is exciting, but there's something particularly exciting about new agents closing their first deal. It's when it really starts to feel real for them, and it's very, very cool to be a part of that experience. So Adrian had an amazing closing yesterday after a last-minute water leak was detected. So kudos to you, Adrian, for keeping that deal alive and getting it done anyway. Thank you.
Thank you.
She came in the office yesterday too.
Yeah.
Oh man, I should have been here. Oh my gosh. Oh.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, guys. Well, that's it then.
Oh, wait,
Let
I
us know
do
if you
have
need
something.
anything.
I'd like to hear somebody talk about pricing a custom home that you're having a hard time finding comps for on acreage.
Pricing a custom home that you're having problem because there's no comps, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anybody has any input, like off the top of their head, that's all.
Okay. What do you do about that, Sheena, Kelly?
I've had a seller go ahead and just order a quick appraisal. I mean, it may be worth it in the long run to spend $300, $400 on the front end of the deal compared to listing it at the wrong price point and then realizing later down the road that you've made some type of mistake. Sometimes it's worth it with custom homes like that.
Can you go further on your
Yeah,
comp?
I always go a lot further out. I stay in the city, but I just did one out in Smithfield that I had to actually bring comps in that were way out near, almost outside of Isle of Wight because of the acreage. And then I actually pulled two more in the city of Suffolk that didn't have acreage. So I pulled both sides. Like I pulled them without acreage and pulled them with acreage, and then I tried to combine them.
Like how far are you talking and how much acreage are you talking? I'm only talking 5 acres. I mean, like, can I justify it? You know?
How far out can I go with 5 acres? Yeah. Do I have to go to Surrey to find a comp with 5 acres? And is it okay if I use it? So
Like the other side of a highway is what I'm thinking. Can I go the other side of a highway?
Sure. Yeah.
I went out 22 miles on mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you get that to the appraiser and you explain to him why you did it, sometimes they definitely will take that into consideration. Because if you're having problems, they're going to have problems too.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm looking for. Thank you guys both for your input on that.
Yeah, I had a townhouse. I know it has nothing to do with acreage, but I had a townhouse over here in downtown Suffolk, and the close I had to go to Virginia Beach to get a comp because nothing else. There was no other townhouses that had closed within the 180 days. So I made that part of the front sheet for the appraiser, and they accepted it.
Wow.
How about a 6-month comp?
They'll go out a whole year if they have to,
Yeah. Yeah.
but no more than a year, because after that, it's especially in this type of market, because it's such a different from what we used to have.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. You tell me all the things I want to hear.
Oh, all right, guys. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate it. Can't wait to see you again.
Yeah. Good seeing you. Bye.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Yeah.